two, one, one, two.
Still I'm not getting the power in. Yes.
We don't have Netflix on our?
Yeah, how?
I think we need to change.
Yes, that's all right. We mute on it.
Mute it and change the movement because I don't want to keep stuff. Yeah. Because you take it at direct, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we need to find
Yeah, this.
this one.
Okay,
राधा को तो दो नैनों पर सार। ओ कान्हा रे, कान्हा रे, तू ही जब ये कान्हा रे, कान्हा रे, तू चंचल है तो क्या जाने नारी मन की बात। ओ क्यों रहती है राधा को दो नैनों पर सार। ओ कान्हा रे, एक बात बोले श्री गजानन स्वामी की। Sit around to each and everyone. Sitaram, everybody. This afternoon, we have come together once again as we've been doing over the previous nights. As you pay remembrance to the life of the late and the great Anil Bheem. On all the previous nights, you would have been listening to beautiful discourses and bhajans. And these come with a purpose. When something like this happens in a family or in a home, it serves as an instant awakening for those within the family and around the family circle. With that in mind, once again we join in glorifying Bhagwan through bhajan, through kirtan, through katha. And tonight, on behalf of myself and my family, Cheryl Didi, I want to extend my deepest condolences to you and the entire family. I know it's something that we never planned for, we never prepared for, because I've been saying this time after time. You have appointments for so much different things in life that you're aware of. The appointment for death is one you never know when it's going to come, how it's going to come. What circumstances is going to be surrounded by this happening or this eventuality. But us being who we are, we have one purpose. And that is, while we have this body, while we have this health, while we have all these faculties intact, what are we to do? This is the time, my dear brothers and friends, that we take this time to give praise and give thanks to Bhagwan for whatever He has gifted us with, whatever we were so fortunate to have by way of happiness, companionship, however you look at it. We ought to be eternally grateful for that. So as we're about to begin, I want to ask everyone to please sit upright, clasp hands close as we bow our head, as we join in Vandana. Hari देहो मोही लोक भीराम रज रंग धीरम राजीव नेत्रम रघुवंशना कारुण्यरूपम करुणाकरं त्वं श्रीरामचन्द्रं शरणं प्रपद्ये नमो नमो निरुध्याय ऋषिकेशेन्द्रियात्मने नमः परमहंसाय पूर्णाय निवृत्तात्मने ॐ नमो ब्राह्मण्यदेवाय ब्राह्मणदेवाय गो ब्राह्मणहिताय च जगद्विताय कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः गोविन्दाय नमो नमः ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय। एक बार बोले श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय जय। Tonight, through the invitation of my brother Sunny, I'm happy to join with this family, but sad that it has to be under these circumstances. The last time I met Anil was a few years ago. You know, and as time progressed with COVID and all of these things coming into play, we didn't have the opportunity to have much interaction. But that love and that respect would always remain there. Tonight I'm fortunate also that Arish Bhai is here with me. Charlie, always a pleasure, Charlie, to be in your company as well. And to all of you who are sitting here to join me tonight. My discourses are a little bit different in the sense that when I sit down to read or give a discourse or a katha, I truly believe in satsang, in collective worship. Because I'll tell you something, and I'll say it just as a reminder to you. You don't know what's going to happen in the next 2 seconds, the next minute, the next hour, or even the day after that. What is going to happen? Or what is going to befall us? And the little time that we have remaining, we take it and we try again and again to continuously chant the name of Bhagwan. So in a beautiful way, I'm asking everyone, when we're singing bhajans and kirtan, please sing along with us. You're not singing for me, but we are singing for Anil. For all the years he has given his time, he has given that melodious voice. Now is the time that we can turn around and give back something. Now is the time we say thank you, Anil, for what you have done. For so many hearts that you have touched along the years gone by. And now that the physical body isn't here, but still we remember you. We pay the greatest respect to you because of what you did. And I've known this family for quite some time. And all of them are extremely, extremely talented. That I know for a fact. Because even in Grandi, when I was in Grandi, with Uncle Lakshman, Uncle Premnath, all of them, you know, I was accustomed to their music. And now, as I said, we have this opportunity to join and give praise for all that you have left behind. But before I start to sing any bhajan, there's a few lines that I like to recite for a reason. I want you to listen carefully. And I want you to lay it up in your mind what I'm saying in this beautiful sloka. Listen. Yaneva pravashati charan maruto madhyumarge yavat binturna bhavati dridha pradva prabandhina Yavadhyanam sahasradrisham jayate devatatvam tavad jnanam vadati taditam damba mitya pralapa. The poet says, as long as the life force of the prana has not started moving through the central root, or what's called the shushmana of this human body, as long as the bindu does not become steady due to the stoppage of external breathing, as long as the truth is not known by experience, it is false pretense and mere faith sitting to talk about jnana and knowledge. If you don't have experience, if you have never experienced all of these things, sadness, happiness, you know, all of these different these feelings or emotions, then how are you going to sit and tell someone, right, about sadness or happiness or separation? How are you going to tell them about this? What kind of knowledge is that are you going to share? That's just false knowledge, isn't it? So all of this comes with experience. In the same way, Prabhu tells us that you come into this world, but like the bhajan and the poet says, Aaye bhi akela, jaye bhi akela, do din ka zindagi hai, do din ka mela. This life is like a playground that we're here for but just 2 days. One day you come, and the next day, Ram Nam Satya hai. We have to go again. And every time you come into this world, or you take a birth, there's a little timer here that you and I don't see. No matter what you do, no matter what the person next to you does. You see, whatever has to happen, that is what will happen. And I'll give you a beautiful instance of this. Ramcharitra Manas of Goswami Tulsidas. Devi Parvati, she took birth into the home of Himachal and Maina, the mountain king and queen. So when Devi took birth, this is the incarnation of Durga Devi Mata, Sarva Chaitanya Rupa, the embodiment of truth, bliss and consciousness, the power that she has, the Shakti that she holds, right? She's so powerful. So, when she came into the home, you know what you would do? Salim, you have children, eh? How much kids you have? 2 kids. So, when your children were born, what's the first thing you do? You cry. After you cry, what's the next thing you do? What do you do to ensure that this child has a good birth or a good life? What do you do? You call upon it, right? Good. So Parvati Devi Mata now took birth. And Maina and Himavan, mother and father, they decide they're going to call the saint. So who they going to call? Narayan, Narayan, Narayan. Narad Muni. So they call upon Narad Muni now. And here is Narad Muni come to the home, visiting the home, and looking at the hands of Devi Parvati, right? Looking at the lines on her forehead. And he starts to read now the kind of life that this child is going to have. You remember reading this, right? Can you tell me 7 times you've read Ram Katha? Good. So, looking at the lines now, Narad Muni starts to describe now to Maina and Himavan what kind of life this child is going to have. But Narad tends to be very blunt. If he has something to say, he will always tell you what it is, just as it is. So here Narad Muni's description now of the life of Parvati Devi Mata. He says that this child is beautiful. She's the embodiment of consciousness and happiness. He says that when she gets older, she will become married to one. Listen to this carefully. She'll become married to one who walks stark naked, who is completely detached from everything and everyone in this world. So if you're a mother and you have to hear that to our father and you have to hear this about your child, what are you going to say? You know what Maina they asked? They said, Narad, let me ask you something. Is there anything we can do to undo whatever you see here? Whatever you're reading and telling to me here. Is there anything you can do to undo this to stop this from happening? Narad Muni turned to them and he smiled. He says, whatever the fate of a man, woman, child or animal, no God, no one can ever change that. Nobody. You could jump high, you could jump low. Whatever the fate of a man is, that is his fate. You and I have absolutely no control over that. And this is something we need to understand. You see, we live in a world where we build all this attachment from birth. We learn how to become attached. From the time as a child you fall ill, mother and father, believe me, we're there all the time. If you could take your own heart out and give to a child in order for that child to live, right, you would do it. If you could find a way to pull out the soul and give it to the child, you would do it. But that is impossible. So whatever time Anil was here for, you know something? He did his part. He performed his Leela. Now you have to perform your Leela. Right? And how can we better do that by joining in satsang, by remembering him, by remembering his legacy, what he had done, the way you would treat people, the way you would deal with people, interact with people. I don't know many musicians and many artists who had, such a pleasant aura as he did, You don't see much people like that, It's very rare. So whatever little time you get, Bhagwan give you that little time with him. He said, listen, that is for you. Somehow that is your part of your karma, that you get to enjoy that time with him. And even though he's not here, Jai Shri Ram, we make the best of it. So tonight we join in bhajans and we join in a few lines out in Bhagavad Gita as we progress through the rest of this afternoon's discourse. एक बात बोले श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की जय, सियावर रामचंद्र की जय. श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा. I want you to join. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari, He Nath Narayan Vasudeva. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari, He Nath Narayan Vasudeva, He Nath Narayan Vasudeva. When we think Sitaram Devi, when we think about Bhagwan Shri Krishna, one word comes to mind. The word itself is Samarya. But the word itself refers to the complexion of the Lord. Dark of hue, that bluish color. And this is what you think of when you remember Lord Krishna. You think about this Lord with this beautiful bansuri in his hand, and the sound that emanates from the bansuri, that all the holes in that flute itself represent the different pranas or the different vital breaths that exist. And when you hear the Leela of Bhagwan Shri Krishna, my dear devotees, when you hear his Leela or his glories, your heart starts to melt because of the love that he has for his devoted. And listen and join. You may not know the bhajan, but you can clap along if you'd like. Safariya meete meete baje madhur ओ प्यारो लागे देखो लागे वृंदावन धाम जहाँ है मेरो मांगे बिहार प्यारो लागे वृंदावन धाम जहाँ है मेरो कुंज बिहार सावरिया नाच कर मन मोरा बजा जो मेरो बांसुरिया प्यारो लागे वृंदावन धाम जहाँ है मेरो मांगे बिहार देखो लागे वृंदावन धाम जहाँ है मेरो कुंज बिहार राधा के संग रास रचाए यमुना तट पे गोए चराए राधा के संग रास रचाए यमुना तट पे गोए चराए राधा के संग रास रचाए यमुना तट पे गोए चराए करने मुरली आधारी करने मुरली आधारी जाती चलो काम बाके बिहार सावरिया नाचे राधा प्यारी बजाए तेरे बांसुरिया प्यारो लागे वृंदावन धाम जहाँ है मेरो मांगे बिहार देखो लागे वृंदावन धाम जहाँ है मेरो कुंज बिहारी जहाँ मेरो कृष्ण मुरारी जहाँ मेरो बांके बिहारी जहाँ मेरो कुंज बिहारी। एक बार बोलो श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की जय। श्री कृष्ण। भगवत गीता has to be understood like this. Bhagavad Gita comes from an even greater scripture referred to as Mahabharata. Mahabharata is the biggest form of poetry, right? That is known to man today, that is recorded up till today. There is nothing bigger. Ramayan, Bhagavad Puran, Shiv Puran, you see Mahabharata, of all the scriptures that we have, it is the biggest compilation. And in Mahabharata now, chapter 25, Bhagavad Gita was taken out. 18 verses, which represented 18 days of what we call Mahabharata war. So, from a realistic point of view now, understand this. You know how it feels when a loved one leaves your side. You know how it feels when a friend or a family, right, leaves your side and can never return. And if I ask you the same question and I pose the same question to you, do you know how it feels when someone is unjust to you or unfair to you in some way? You can remember that feeling, I'm sure. Because throughout your entire lives, you will find yourselves in situations where someone will be unfair, someone will be untruthful, someone will try to hurt you, someone will try to harm you, someone will try to disrespect you, right? All of these you're going to face, right? While we're here for but just 2 days. All of these we're going to face. But Bhagavad Gita deals with this battle between a family, the family of Kuru. And the place that it's taking place is on this battleground called Kurukshetra. Kurukshetra is a place where all the saints and all the sages will come, they will gather to perform great austerities and sacrifices. And the Pandavas and the Kauravas are these two families. The Pandavas, they were taken advantage of and they were robbed of their kingdom and their land and everything by their own family, the Kauravas. So now they had reached to the point where, in order to finally settle this dispute, we have two options. Either we find a solution for it here, that it can be debated out, or we go to war. Because somebody has to understand the importance of standing for what is right. And not many of us really and truly get a grasp of what this means. To stand up for what is right and what is truthful. Because someone will come to you and they'll tell you of something that has happened to them or something that somebody did to them. And you'll hear one side of the story, Cheryl, because you're hearing from one person. When the other side comes, you hear another side of the story. But then there is yet another side of that story, no, which is the actual truth. which is the actual truth. And this is what we tend to do, very often. Let me tell you something. You live in a world where in the face of sadness, people will try to gain mileage from that, and you will see that. In the face of death and sickness, people will start to gain mileage from that. They will try somehow, either by the way of advertising or something. Believe me, I have seen it all. I have seen it all. And the people who you expect to stand for you when something happens, just hold your tongue. Just hold your tongue and just say Jai Shri Ram. Because I'll tell you something, right? Not everybody that you're kind and you're honest and helping to, not everybody will turn around in your time of need and come to help you. And that's just reality. That's just reality. In the most unexpected of ways, you will find people coming, right, to lend and show their support. But the people who you would expect to stand and give support, sometimes you may not see them. So, Kauravas and Pandavas now, they have to go into battle. So here what's happening. Arjuna went to Lord Krishna together with Duryodhana. And, both of them now, they in the company of Sri Krishna. But Lord Krishna is asleep. When Lord Krishna finally awakes now, he poses the question to them. He says, you have two options, both of you. One of you could get my entire army. Right? The entire army of Lord Krishna you will get to fight your battle with you. And the other one gets me. But if I come to stand with you, I am not going to fight. My job is not to fight. My job is to teach you the importance of duty. So, Arjuna now, being the sensible one, Arjuna says, you know what, I don't need the army of the Lord when I have the Lord himself. Right? And the opposing side now, he takes the army of the Lord and they're ready to go into battle. Chapter 10 of Bhagavad Gita reaches now. And Arjuna poses a question to Lord Krishna. He says, Prabhu, I want to know of your glories. I want to know of your greatness. I want to know what you represent and who you represent. Prabhu, tell this to me. You're giving so much knowledge to me, but this is one thing that I desire to know. Listen to what Bhagavan says. Om Sri Paramatmane Namaha. Bhagavan Uvach. Ahama Udakesha. Ahama Udakesha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namaha. Ahama Udakesha Sarvabhutasayastita. Aham Madhya Madhyam Cha Bhutanam Antameva. Bhagavan says, Aham Atma. Aham means I am. And Atma is what? Atma is the soul. Krishna Bhagavan says, Arjuna, I am the soul that is seated in the heart of every single human being. Arjuna, know me to be the beginning, the middle, and the end of everything that exists. Bhagavan didn't stop there. When someone passes on, everything that we do, from the day of the funeral, straight down to the day of the Bandara. You ever hear Lakshmi Puja being done? Durga Puja being done? Saraswati Puja being done? Vishnu Bhagwan Puja? Krishna Bhagwan Puja? It's his prayer and his worship that is done. Right? This is what is done during this time. But there must be a reason for it. Anantasyami nagana varuno yasamya pitrinam aryamashyami yama samtamya. Listen. Anantasyami nagana. How many of you have ever looked at a picture of Mahavishnu Bhagwan? You've seen it, right? What do you see behind Mahavishnu Bhagwan? The serpent, the 1,000-headed serpent. He's called Sheshnag or Ananta. Lord Krishna says, he says, of all the nagas or the serpents, I am Sheshnag. Varuno yat samyaham. Pitrinam aryamashyami. Aryama means the head. And Pitri means departed. Nam, name. He says, listen, I represent the head of the Pitris. Whenever a time like this comes, anything that has to be done and offered, it has to come to me. That is how great I am. And if you don't understand that, he says, Yamaha samtamyaham. And if you don't believe that, then understand this. I am even Yamraj, the god of death. That is how great and that is how powerful I am. That is me. Ek baat bole Sri Krishna Chandra Bhagwan ki jai. Now, Salim said to me, when you come in here, Baba, you're coming to sing. So he probably find out talking too much already. But you know, sometimes we like to give a little knowledge to people so that you have a better understanding and a better grasp of what you're going to experience in this world. This is just reality. That Bhagwan has created everything in pairs, equal opposites. Where there is good, you'll find some bad. And we can go on and on and on. So we join in Kirtan now. And I ask everyone that some of these bhajans you may know, some of it you may not know. But I ask you, as we remember Bhai who is passed on, sing along. My goddaughter Neelam, Baba hasn't seen you in ages, child. And I'm still happy to see you. God bless you. You know, when I took up the phone a couple days after Anil had passed, and I said to her, I said, Neil, I didn't know how to call you, because I didn't know what to say to you. Right? What can I say to a child, especially a godchild, when something like this has happened? What am I going to say? Daughter, I love you, right? And our prayers are with you. Yes, you would accept that, but it wouldn't change the fact of what has happened. That you're dealing with this great loss and this great difficulty right now. How are you going to overcome it? There's only one way, through prayer, through penance, through worship. So we join by glorifying Bhagwan through bhajan. very, very few times in our lives we come across true talent. Whether it be through your words, as a singer, or even as a poet. And very, very few of them can stand out. But none of them can ever be compared to Goswami Tulsidas, or Ved Vyas, or Surdas, or Kabir Das, or all of these true bhaktas of Bhagavan Shri Krishna. Surdas was a blind poet. He was blind. But yet still, he had a type of devotion for Bhagavan Shri Krishna that was unmatched. Listen. Surdas ji ka ek taal Meera ki karta बोले जय गिरधर गोपाल बोले जय गिरधर गोपाल बोले जय गिरधर गोपाल बोले जय गिरधर गोपाल गिरधर नागर की भक्ति का पाया ऐसा हीरा, राणा जी का विषकाया हंसी पी गई मीरा। मीरा गिरधर राधे राज बहन भक्ति वर्मा, बोले जय गिरधर गोपाल, बोले जय गिरधर गोपाल, बोले जय गिरधर गोपाल, बोले जय गिरधर गोपाल। सूरदास जी का मीरा गिरधर दास, बोले जय गिरधर गोपाल, 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 बोले जय गिरधर गोपाल। एक बात बोले श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की। जय राधा माधव, जय कुंज बिहार, 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 जय गोपी जन, जय गोपी जन, जय गिरिवरधारी, जय राधा माधव, जय कुंज बिहार। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जगदंचन, 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 यमुना तीर मुरली मनोहर करुणा सागर मुरली मनोहर करुणा सागर मुरली मनोहर मुरली मनोहर मुरली मनोहर करुणा सागर मुरली मनोहर करुणा सागर मुरली मनोहर करुणा सागर मुरली मनोहर करुणा सागर यमुना तीर पंचारी यमुना तीर पंचारी जय गिरिवर धारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा एक बात बोलो श्री कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की जय। I see that my good brother is here tonight. Vicky Bhai, Jai Shri Ram. I want to ask you to come and sing a few lines, say a few words. It would be greatly appreciated.
Sitaram, everyone. Tonight I'm very happy to be here in the midst of this sad time, and probably I speak for many of the other entertainers, people who live abroad who were not able to be here last week. But I want to assure Cheryl and the children that in heart, in mind, in soul, we're all here. I never like to sing in occasions like this, even in times when my own relatives pass. It has always been difficult to find my voice, to render music, to render a song. So if tonight I break somewhere in the midst of it, I apologize. मैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे, मैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे, द्वारे तुम्हारे हे पावन परमेश्वर मेरे, मन ही मन शरणागत, मैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे, मैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे, द्वारे तुम्हारे हे पावन परमेश्वर मेरे, मन ही मन शरणागत, मैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे, मैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे। तूने मुझको जग में भेजा, निर्मल देकर आया, आकर इस संसार में मैंने इसको दाग लगाया, जन्म जन्म की मैली चादर कैसे दाग छुड़ाऊं, मैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे, मैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे।
निर्मल वाणी पाकर तुझसे नाम तेरा गाया। नैन मुन कर हे परमेश्वर कभी ना तुझको ध्याया। मन वीणा की तूने ज्योति अब क्या गीत सुना। मैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे, मैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे द्वारे तुम्हारे हे पावन परमेश्वर मेरे मन ही मन शर्मा। मैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे, मैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे। इन पैरों से, इन पैरों से, इन पैरों से चल कर तेरे मंदिर कभी ना आया। जहाँ जहाँ हो पूजा तेरी कभी ना शीश झुकाया। हे हरि हर में हरि के आया, अब क्या हाल चुरा। मैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे, मैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे द्वारे तुम्हारे हे पावन परमेश्वर मेरे मन ही मन शर्मा। मैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे, मैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे, मैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे, मैली चादर ओढ़। तुम विनती सुनो सबकी, कल्याण करो जग का। तुम विनती सुनो सबकी, कल्याण करो जग का। सरनाई का करके उद्धार दर्शन तेरे सबकी अभिलाषा है मन मेरा सबके तुमसे आशा है दर्शन तेरे सबकी अभिलाषा है मन मेरा तुम सबके तुमसे आशा है क्या मेरा क्या आशिका ये अपना पराया सर ज्योति जला करके रोशन कर जग सारा रोशन जग सारा तुम विनती सुनो सबकी संसार जो माया है कभी दूर कभी छाया है एक दिन उसे जाना है जो भी आया है संसार तो माया है कभी दूर कभी छाया है एक दिन उसे जाना है जो भी आया है क्या रंग जीवन का क्या रूप है मानव का तुम ज्ञान भरा करके उपकार करो दुर्गा उपकार करो दुर्गा तुम विनती सुनो सबकी कल्याण करो जगका सरलारिका करके उद्धार करो दुर्गा उद्धार करो दुर्गा उद्धार करो दुर्गा
So I would always say this on the many times we would meet on the stage. We would say, Samraj. I would say, you ready to go on? He would say, ready anytime. And you know, it was for me, and I used to say this without any malice to any other singer. And I would say it to him over and over and over, and I probably said it the last time to him at Kerry's birthday in August when he introduced me on stage. And it's just my way of telling him how great of a singer he was. And how much, I really love to hear him sing. And many others as well. I did this song some years ago when my first son was born, because I had no children for a very long time, and at one point in time I figured, well, that was it. The gun loaded with blanks. It could happen. But God has a plan for all of us. And my first child did not come until I was the age of 38, 39, somewhere around there. And I searched for a song that would not only tell my first son or my second son or my first daughter how I felt, but they would all know how I felt. Because up until that time I was just happy to play with my nieces and nephews. But when you have children, that changes your whole perspective. And I remember the first time I met Anil. We were going to 103 FM. Back in the days, it wasn't in Long Circular, it wasn't in Barataria. But there was this little room. I don't know how that room ended up in that spot in the car park or wherever it was. There was just a little room. And they said, you know whose son in there? I said, no. They said, well, Anil Bheem's son inside there. And I said, well, if Primati's son there, well, I have to go and see him. Because I've shared the stage with Primati many times. Triveni, all kind of different shows we were together. So if her son is there, then definitely I have to go and see him. And he was there. Young, slim, trim, very focused in his production room there. And I sent a video with Ken for the funeral, but I don't think it was able to be viewed or showed. So I'll just say what I said in that video. And maybe Panditji will agree with me. And the Lord has, man has his own plans and his own, way of how he wants to plan out his life. But the Lord has your life laid out in steps. And from where I saw that young man then to when he departed from us, the steps that were laid out for him was already written. Greatness was already written for him. Becoming a production guy to announcer to being one of the most loved voices, countless albums, I mean, you name it. There was one time I meet him and I say, hey, partner, give some of we a chance to sing a Kishore Kumar song now? Because when I try to find one, I can't find it. This man sing all the Kishore Kumar songs. Now I am not the best Bollywood singer, but I want to follow him too, but he ain't give me a chance. But I'm sure his mother and father, brothers and don't really know the whole family. One brother, two sisters, daughters, Cheryl, and everybody. I know how my family feels about me. And I know that pride. And I know the pride that you all have for him. And I just want to remind you all that Anil was very, very much loved. Not only by his family members, but by a fan base that even I wasn't even aware of until this week gone by. And such is the steps that God has for all of us to lead us from a point of where things appear to be nothing, and then it comes to become everything, where what we do in our life is so grandiose, is so great that it is able to touch human beings and to touch humanity in such a positive way. And I think that was the lead up of all the steps for Anil, to get to that point where through his music he was able to calm a broken heart. He was able to touch a forsaken soul. He was able to take songs of India and make us, the local community, feel wonderful about it. Even though we love Kishore Kumar or Mohammed Rafi, the manner in which the Bheema would do a song with Rishi Mahato, well, that's my favorite era of Anil Bheem, when he was working with Rishi Mahato, that style. That's God's plan. And I think we can only hope to touch people's lives and leave a lasting impact on them through music, as Anil has done. So I do this song for all the parents in the audience tonight.
तुझे सूरज कहो या चंदा, तुझे दीप कहो या तारा, मेरा नाम करेगा रोशन, जग मेरा राज दुलारा। तुझे सूरज कहो या चंदा, तुझे दीप कहो या तारा, मेरा नाम करेगा रोशन, जग मेरा राज दुलारा। मैं कब से तरस रहा था, मेरे आंगन में कोई खेले, नन्ही से हंस के बदले मेरे सारी दुनिया मेले, तेरे सुख छू रहा है मेरी बाहों में जग सारा, मेरा नाम करेगा रोशन, जग में मेरा राज चुन ली थाम की तेरी, तुझे मैं चलना सिखलाऊं, कल हाथ पकड़ना मेरा, जब मैं बुरा हो जाऊं, तुम मिला तो मैंने पाया जीने का नया सहारा, मेरा नाम करेगा रोशन, जग में मेरा राज दुलारा। Should I call you Should I call you the star? Should I call you the sun that shines from afar? And you are a shining star, and I know that you will live on forever. तुझे सूरज कहो या चंदा, तुझे दीप कहो या तारा, मेरा नाम करेगा रोशन, जग में मेरा राज दुलारा, जग में मेरा राज दुलारा, जग में मेरा राज दुलारा।
Thank you so much, Ricky. Absolutely, absolutely beautiful. So, in our final couple of bhajans tonight, as we come very close to the end, once again I wish to ask everyone, you want to say something? Come, come.
Sitaram, everybody. I am the brother of the grandfather of Anil. My brother was Bisun Sagram. I'm Surilal Sagram. And I was a little boy, like 8 years, when my big brother got married to somebody at Ambassador from Charleville in Easter Sunday 1951. I was about 8 years old. So this is a part of history you all don't know. When they got married, the first child they had was Premati. Premati was such a beautiful child. We never call her Premati. We call her darling. She was so beautiful. She remained a darling. And I want to cut it short. She had Anil and 2 other children. We then know that this is where the family started. So you're talking about from 1951 to now. Anyhow, I have been very saddened with the death of Anil. I always say, I don't know if I'm wrong, but according to how you're born, your age, you die before and leave the younger ones. But it so happened, I would say like the green mango fall and leave the ripe. I'm sorry for that. Um, uh, so I am here today. I went to the funeral. I will be turning 84 years in July coming. So therefore, this family started a long, long, long time. And today is a very sad day, or since the day that he died, and I heard that Anil died, I was very sad. I couldn't believe that Anil died. Because he saw my big son in America take picture when he went to do in America. And it is, I don't know how to describe it or whatever. But that is a thing, have no respect. When the time comes, you go. But to me, the talent he had, he could have remained a little longer. That was my wish. He could have remained a little longer. I say he gone a little too early, and maybe God knows best, the Lord. So therefore, what I would say is that in memory or in fairness to him, I want to sing a song so that he will go straight to where he's supposed to go and come back very quick. Okay? Yeah. No, I wish he come back. The song I'm going to sing is, maybe is a sad song, Pinjare Ke Panchi. I don't know if you could pick me up with the name. I पिंजरे के पंछी रे तेरा दर्द न जाने को तेरा दर्द न जाने को पिंजरे के पंछी रे छुपके छुपके रोने वाले रखना छिपा के दिल पे छाले रे छुपके छुपके रोने वाले रखना छिपा के दिल पे छाले रे विधिन This song I sing it is, I was a little boy, I went and see Pavanaputra Hanuman. And I see when Hanuman sing the song, he opened my heart and he see Ram. So I only hope Anil would. All right, I'm going to sing the next song right then. Okay, I get it. It's a little high pitch song, right? मेरे मन में है राम, मेरे मन में है राम, मेरे तन में है राम, मेरे नैनों की नगरिया में राम है।
sure this man is 84? Mamu, Sri Krishna bless you, boy. That's a beautiful voice. And you have that strength still at this age. And that's truly amazing. That's truly amazing. Yeah, Jai Shri Ram. So, in our final bhajan by the devotees tonight, we want to ask everyone, it's a beautiful simple chant, Bolo Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. And then after that, we'll conclude tonight, and you have so much other nights of satsang to come as well. So please join with the family. So we join in this final chant. Go. Govind bolo Hari, Gopal bolo, Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari, Govind bolo, Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari, Govind bolo, Radha Raman Hari, Govind bolo, Govind bolo Hari Gopal bolo, Govind bolo Hari, Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari, Govind bolo, 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 Radha Raman Hari, Govind bolo. Bolo Ram 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 Radhe Shyam 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 Sita Ram Ram Ram. Bolo Ram Ram Ram. Bolo Ram 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 Radhe Shyam 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 Sita Ram Ram Ram. Bolo Ram Ram Ram. Bolo Ram 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 Radhe Shyam 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 Sita Ram Ram Ram. Bolo Ram Ram, Bolo Ram Ram, Radhe Shyam Shyam Shyam, Sita Ram Ram Ram, Bolo Ram Ram Ram, Govind bolo Hari, Gopal bolo, Govind bolo Hari, Gopal bolo, Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari, Gopal bolo, Radha Raman Hari, Govind bolo, Radha Raman Hari, Govind bolo, Radha Raman Hari, Radha Sita Ram बोलो राम राम राम। एक बार बोलो श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की जय। We want to ask everyone at this time to please sit upright once again with clasped hands closer. We bow our heads with joy in a closing prayer. And Anil, wherever your Atma may be at this point in time, may you have the opportunity to merge from Atma to Paramatma, that point of non-return to this material world. Om Anadhini Dhano Dev Shank Chakra Garadhara Akshaya Pundarikaksha Pretu Mokshi Prado Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Bandhu Cha Sika Tvameva Vidya Dravinan Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. एक बार बोलो श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय। Sit around to each and everyone. Ask please take your seats. To Arish Bhai, Charlie, Salim, thank you so much for your support. Ding, thank you very, very much. And to all our guest artists who came on and sang so beautifully, thank you so much. God's blessings. Jai Shri Ram.